Good morning, everybody. It's a bright morning. It's a very bright morning in Imbara. A bit chilly though, but yeah, the sun is out. Give thanks to God for everything. We thank Him for the gift of life. We thank Him for the gift of health. We thank Him for the gift of salvation. We thank Him for the gift of love, for the gift of sacrifice, for the gift of grace, for the gift of provision, for the gift of everything. I swear, everything. We just thank God. There's a nice song that I like listening to, and it talks about people may look at me and say that I have nothing, but they are so wrong because they don't understand that I have Jesus. I may not have shoes on my feet, but I have Jesus. I may not even have a fancy house to stay in, but I have Jesus. And so when people look at you, they may think, oh, now look at this one, doesn't understand what's going on, and things like that. But you have Jesus. That's the most important thing. This is Jackie Mosime Kihuguru, aka JMK, and welcome to Real Talk. Today, I want to talk about the have and the have-nots. I think some of you must have watched that series. It was really, really a good series, The Haves and the Have-Nots. And when I thought about that movie, I put it in a different perspective. I said, okay, let me put it in the Christian sense, and see what may come up. Because most of the time when a subject comes, I don't even understand. I don't know what I'm going to say. To be honest, I don't write notes. I don't do anything. The Spirit just leads me to say stuff. So when you look at the haves and the have-nots, the haves may be people who have everything you can imagine, and the have-nots may be people who don't have. Now, my thinking of those two is, personally for me, is Christ, just like the gentleman said. Because you may have a lot, which is a blessing from God. You may have a lot. You might have a good car, you might have a good house, your business is running very well, everything seems to be tick, your kids are in good schools, the kids are performing well, everything is nice. As a parent, everything seems to be going your way. But do you have Christ? Do you have Christ in your life? I am one person who, when I was in Kampala, I was not very, very strong in the spirit. I wasn't really focused. I was born again, yes, but I was not as focused as I am now. And I would not think of much. I would say, okay, let them have. UTL was really good. The banks I worked in were good. Everything seemed fine for me. The family was good. Everything seemed amazing. But somewhere along the way, you come to realize that without God, certain things fall apart. With God, there's a bond. There is something that holds you tight and makes you feel like you're secure. You're secure constantly. When you have, sometimes we forget about Christ. We think that everything that we've gotten is by ourselves. And I came to realize that the people who have not or don't have enough and they know Christ are more at peace than you who has. You will see a lady. I watch a lot of Nigerian movies. So you see a lady, she's staying in her house, shattered. The roof is made of grass, the grass type, and everything seems to be, she's not doing well. But the amazing thing about it is that she's happy. She's happy, she's content, everything seems to be just going her own way. And she's okay. There is nothing that keeps her, like, makes her sad. She'll get up in the morning, she'll go to her garden, she'll dig and do whatever she does. She comes back, she's supposed to be with her grandchildren. She comes back to be with the grandchildren. The grandchildren are all running to her, and she's also smiling and whatever. And everybody's happy. But she doesn't have much. But she has Christ, and she loves Christ. And Christ lives in her. And personally, I always, whenever I see such people, I feel the grace. I just feel how amazing the Lord is. Because what more? What more are you going to have? What more are you going to... Sorry, I have a bad cough. What are we going to tell the Lord when we reach heaven during judgment? That, oh Lord, I had so much. Thank you for blessing me. But unfortunately, I thought this stuff was all for my family, so I did not give out the stuff. I used to keep it in myself, hoarding. You know what hoarding means? Like keeping stuff, constantly keeping stuff, like they are piling. And the Lord, our Father, He looks at the heart. He looks at the heart and nothing else. We may be poor people. We may be people who don't have enough. But the minute you have Christ, there's nothing better. There's nothing better. Let me just tell you my story. I like talking about myself so that people get perspective. In fact, people are like, oh, Jackie, you're so, we love the fact that you really talk about yourself to put everything into perspective, which I also love doing. Anyway, so in 2017, that's the time the government took over UTL. Oh, I was there for 10 years. I was there from 2007 to 2017. I was there for 10 years. Amazing. I loved UTL, just like I loved from the time I was in Standard Chartered to Barclays to Nile Bank, also 10 years. When I entered UTL, it felt good. It felt absolutely good. When I would get my salary, and I think I've been spoken about this before, when I would get my salary, the drivers, the messengers, the cleaners, the guards were all excited because they knew. And from way back from Standard Chartered, I used to have an envelopes. I would buy envelopes, and end of the month, I would write what should be in that envelope. And I remember even Harriet was okay, my friend. She said, Jackie, that's one thing that I used to envy about you, your organization. I would get every envelope, I put the baby stuff, because that time, of course, I had babies. You put baby stuff, you count what you have, Pampers, SMA, blah, blah, blah. Then another envelope had salaries. Then another envelope had water. Another envelope had electricity. And it's not that the father was not providing. He was providing everything. But for me, I was just putting them there just in case. Because, as a wife, you have to be connected and work together to make sure that everything is okay. Your husband may be doing business, but that particular month may be a tough month, so you chip in. So for me, I'll just put the envelope, I'll just write whatever I put there. And when I reach home, I wasn't very open with my husband at the time. I would tell him, there are envelopes here for water. He says, it's okay. I've paid for those. Well, back to my account. You understand? So when I left UTL used to pay us very well. very well. And I would give, to the messengers, to the drivers, to the guards, to the cleaners, I would give them their envelopes. I always used to put money in that envelope. However little the money was, I would put it in an envelope and give it to you. No name, because sometimes I have a problem with names. I can recognize your voice. I can see you. I know your face. I know maybe, but the name. And up to today, it's a problem. So anyway, in 2017, when the government took over, things went up and down. Then top management slowly, we were told to go. And by that time, you are only dependent on your salary. You're not thinking about anything. I don't even think I used to save. What I used to like doing was giving. Every time the month would end, I would want to give. And honestly speaking, I don't remember saving. I don't remember. Because in your mind, the next month is coming. And my kids had grown. I was like, okay, they may want something. You buy. You go. Everything was just fine. So 2017 comes up, and we are told to go home. We are told to go home. I had just been, I think I had just gotten married the second time. Yeah, because I got married in 2016, my second marriage. And of course, now 2017 comes, things are now, jobs are not there. We don't know where you're going to get resources from. They did not give us anything to go with. You were just told to leave with nothing. So, of course, things became a bit tense in the house. Yeah, a bit tense, because Jackie has basically been, her bitch has been doing almost everything in the house. Everything is okay. But you see, people sometimes get into, what can I say? Like they get into a mindset of, oh my goodness, what is going to happen? Anyway, just because of that, unfortunately, my second marriage went down. So I'm there. I go and see my sister in Nairobi. I was quite low and depressed, and my sister was like, "Jack, you come and be with us in Nairobi." So I went with Nicole, and then Juliet was with her daughter Maria. Nicole and Maria, like, they're actually sisters. So she says, "Why don't you start a consultancy? Because having a consultancy, you can do anything. Why can't you put your experience like on the table?" I'd never thought about it. Then her and my cousin decide to chip in. They gave me dollars and gave me pounds. I started doing consultancy. Companies that I would not expect were actually helping me. And my cousin and my sister had said that we're going to help you till September. I think they started helping me around a year ago. So they said, we're going to make sure that within that 1 year, your company should be like on its own. You should be able to be running on your own with this company. And thank God, I was called by companies to train on different things: customer care, sales, etiquette, name it. I even used to go to Kalangala. Kalangala was nice. I would go to Kalangala like, I think every 2 weeks. That gentleman who gave me that job, I swear, he should be blessed, because I used to go to Kalangala even if I would go alone. Just the peace of mind of Kalangala was amazing. I would train, but it's amazing how when you go to Kalangala, their roads are nice, but not made. They're like on their own. Their water is not national water. Their electricity is not UEDCL. So everything is Like they do their own things, they have their own engineers, everything. So I used to visit them, see them, make them laugh, we have fun, we train. After that, some of the girls or the ladies will be like, Jackie, so you, this business of going back to your room, I'm one person wherever I am, Banangi. By 7, I want to be home. So I'll tell them, it's getting late, it's cold, I really want to go. Because, of course, the lake, very, very cold at night. So I went on and I continued getting clients, and it was amazing. It was really amazing. Like, I can't even fathom. I'm telling you guys. It was really good. So anyway, surprisingly, I got to Techno, the owner of Techno. He's called Philip. And because I used to manage the phones in UTL, he's the one who would bring the phones and we sell for him. So he knew me because we basically used to deal with one another. So anyway, I got him and I tell him that, you know what, Philip, I lost my job in UTL and I would like to train your staff. You have very many staff because in every shop of banana, there are many. And then also MTN and Airtel had also given them jobs for their staff, the banana staff, to work in MTN and Airtel. So I told him, I really want to train your people because they need it. So I make my presentation and everything, and I finish, and there were, I think, like 3 Chinese and 2 Ugandans I was basically presenting to. So after the presentation, they're like, oh, Jackie, thank you. That was really nice. Then the Chinese lady, she's called Freya. Freya says, kindly just wait a minute because the boss, Philip, would like to have a word with you. I was like, it's okay, no problem. I mean, where am I going? I'm going back home. So he comes in with Freya and they say, Jackie, we want to offer you a job. I was like, what? I rolled my eyes and I was like, it was 1 month, guys. It was 1 month to September. When my sister and my cousin had told me that they're going to help make me stand on my own, that was August. And here are people telling me that they want me to work for them. I sat down and thought about it and I was like, you know what? Okay, for consulting, sometimes things are good, sometimes things are bad. So I asked them, because I asked them about the pay and asked them, of course, they were not giving as good as UTL. But when I made my calculation of how I'll manage in Kampala, be there and whatever, and be able to sort out everything, I told them it's okay. So even the title was quite freaky, like operator. They want me the operations director, something like that. And I started working. I started going through the books, doing all kinds of things. Having worked in UTL and the bank, I would feel like there's certain things that do not seem right. I was really not liked when I just came into Techno because I got so many people fired because people were basically robbing the bank. And there was no one who actually knew how to check and what to do. And I came with that knowledge. So I worked in Techno, and I worked from 2018 up to 2020, 2021. Yes, 2021. And we had been working on a serious project at the time, where I was actually that time working with, I'm still under Techno, but the international side, I used to deal with the British. So they wanted me like to get this signed, and they were so shocked, and they were like, but Jackie, how come you go to Bank of Uganda and get things signed in a second? How come you go to UCC? And that is why I always tell people that social capital is very, very important, and good social capital, because you cannot know when you're going to need these people. I would go to the bank, I would go here, I would go everywhere I was going. I knew people. And it was amazing. So anyway, after 2020, 2020, let's remember what we used to all call 2020 during the COVID time. The company really knew they wouldn't start. I think they sat down and said that it's after COVID, people are being laid off, and the Kampala branch, the Kampala franchise was not yet open, and they knew they were going to make it. They knew it was going to be hard, and honestly, I understood. So they called me. And they told me, Jackie, we really apologize for letting you go, but ABCD. I told them I honestly understand. And these Chinese gave me 4 months of salary because they didn't want me to go with nothing. And I praise God for that. It was not easy. Let me tell you guys, having no job, when you've got a job and then you lose it is the hardest thing, because you have been used to that kind of thing. So anyway, 2021, about September, yes, I leave. And then something just tells me that, Jackie, why don't you just go to Barra? I laughed. I even laughed at that still small voice that was telling me, you need to go to Barra. So anyway, one day I go and tell my parents, you know what, I think I need to go to Barra. And my dad was like, Barra? You don't even know the language. I said, I'll learn. And my mom was like, but why? Why do you want to go to Barra? I'm like, I just feel I want to go to Barra. So at the end of actually my late mom's birthday, December 28th, so I waited, and December 29th, I came to Barra. And the fresh breeze, it was scary at the beginning, very, very scary. But I was like, you know what, and my dad, we didn't know what my dad was doing for us. Yeah. My dad built each person a house. Yeah. And you can decide to do what you want to do with it. And I was in shock. Although I found that it really finished, of course, now because I was entering my house, I was like, I told the guy, do whatever you do in one day. Because I told you, and I was very clear that I was coming, so do everything in one day. So of course he was stressed because I think he had used the money. I spoke to my dad gave him more money, and then he finished the house. And then I had to finish the other houses. At the beginning, Mbara was a bit tricky. When you start, you have to go to National Water, get meters, go to Umeme. The foreman hadn't done most of that stuff, which I did. And I started feeling useful, So my sister-in-law, who we call the first lady, the daughter had her Kuhinjira here. So Daddy had also built gardens, but of course, it needed a lot of grass and plants and blah, blah. And Annette is very good with those things. So she was constantly here, making things sure that things are right and everything. So they leave, the function ends, they go, and I stay in Mbara. Guys, ever since I've been in Mbara, I've gotten closer to God because I'm in a quiet environment. You can either decide to think that you can go drink, think that you can go and do whatever you want to do that the Lord is not pleasing to God, or you can have Christ in your life and live a more peaceful life. Personally, first of all, anyway, when I was in Kampala, I would never go out. I didn't like going out. So I come to Mbara, getting a new environment, starting to get to know people and start like that. Open up my shop, thanks to my dad, who gave me the capital to start off. And I start, and of course, there's women. I don't know what's wrong with us, by the way. Instead of building ourselves, we want to just put ourselves down. We're not together as women. We are not. But as guys, you'll find that a guy is going to be like, they're going to make sure that everything is okay amongst them. Women, I don't understand. Anyway, I start my shop. People, of course, look at me. Remember that time I had a mohawk. I had no hair on the sides. I had my dreadlocks and stuff, and they're looking at me and they think, oh, this one's from America. Wow. I was from Kampala. Anyway, so I start my shop. I start getting stabbed in the back. People are doing things, gossiping about me, doing it. It's okay. And then, unfortunately, also during that time, from the time I came to Mara, I started falling sick. Different things, from the double mastectomy to going into coma to pneumonia to the hip issue to depression to, I was just falling sick. And I was like, this is the enemy, because the enemy sees that there's something that I'm going to do in Ibarra. So he's trying his level best to put me down. I continued falling sick, but I did not leave the Lord. I made sure that I stayed close to God. And I was sick, but I was not sick because the Lord was in me. Physically, I was sick. The depression continued. Things would happen, and you go into depression. It's like they say that it's like an insect, a small insect that sits at the back of your brain, and just one thing needs to trigger, and you're back. So I cannot say that I'm done with the depression, no, because as I speak to you right now, I got a relapse. Like a week ago. I got a relapse. And the main reason, and people need to understand that everybody goes through depression, not because it's a sickness or whatever. We really need to learn and read about mental health. Depression can come because of anything that is not good or has happened to you or whatever. This depression that I really relapsed into depression was because I was tired of being sick. And I was just sitting there and I'm like, Lord, why? Why can't I get better? Why is it that I started feeling like I'm burdening my family, my friends. People are there for you, like Uncle Babu and Peace, Inganwa. Those guys are always there for me whenever I fall sick. And of course, my friends, they come, they check on me. Dr. Doreen is always there, and other people. I give thanks to God for that. But sometimes you start feeling like you're a burden. I have to always tell my dad, Daddy, I'm not well. He always tells me, when you're done, when you're discharged, tell me how much you need and I'll pay it. That is one thing that I give thanks to God for, because irrespective of the sickness, right now I'm back to my crutch, which is okay. Not okay, but okay. I'm alive. My depression, like now I'm fine. I'm okay. But then around 7 o'clock, after I've taken the drugs, soon my tongue starts getting heavy, and then I become a bit incoherent. So I can start talking about something and then I shift to something else. But personally, in my mind, I know that what I'm telling you is correct, until somebody, because they know, will say, either Jackie, sleep, take a nap, lie down, watch a movie, or do something, but do not just rest, So the depression I'm going through right now is for me, yeah, it's there, it's happening, but I'm alive. So even if I may feel that I have not gotten what others have, I feel like I have more than what some people have. And for me, number one, I have God. Number two, I am so happy to manage the family business. Okay? We have gardens, we have so many weddings, and some of the houses, all the houses here. I am just blessed to have two people who I can trust for now. The two girls who take care of me. I am blessed because of the weather. I'm blessed because my child Jason, who studies from Friends International School, is okay. I have my kids who are amazing. I have my Nicole and Jordan, amazing. Jason, amazing. Those are things that we need to constantly thank God for, especially when we reach that point where we say, I don't have. You have to thank God for everything you have, even just waking up. Guys, this morning, someone died. Someone somewhere passed away. But also this morning, someone was born. So life is like that. You have people who love you. You have people who care for you. You have people who check on you. Now, I have a disadvantage. I don't like visiting, but I like being visited. I like hosting, but I don't want to go. It's a disadvantage, but that's how I am. So my prayer for all of us is that we will learn that however much you may feel like you don't have, however much you may feel like I'm always sick, however much you may feel like I don't have a job, let me tell you guys, focus on the Lord. Focus on the Lord in a way that you will feel so at peace. He will open doors that you did not even fathom would happen. You did not even imagine. He will give you this grace that is beyond anything. And that is my biggest prayer, that our focus is on the Lord, and He's your everything. Should be your center, He should be your left side, He should be your right side, He should be your center, He should be your everything. He should be your everything. So I love you guys. I know that I've been missing some days, so sometimes when I do not, and sometimes I do not send a message or make a video like this one, just know that I'm not well. I am not yet at that point where I can do it, but I am well, very well in the Lord. I love you all, and this is Real Talk. Bye-bye.